Okay, so this I want to kind of talk through it, and this is again it would be I would consider another competitive type exam, by the way, and there's a large number of questions over here. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wow, that's a long exam. It really is, but there's a point to this, and the point I want to make is over here is that um, you know what happens to a lot of students is they're presented with a what I would say a really dumbed down version of algebra. All right, it's really kind of like universal algebra. Where everyone has a chance of getting it. These questions here are taken from another project, and the project is really it has to do with this group of people over here. And the project that I prepared for this group was a more rigorous algebra. All right. Now, when I say algebra, algebra that's taught at the high school level. All right. And these are really high school level algebra problems. And I want to claim that I just simply I want to tell you where this is coming from. It's coming from a textbook written by Webster Wells, and he titled the book "Advanced Algebra." Actually, a course in advanced algebra is how he titled the book, and it was meant to prepare students. Oh, by the way, it was published in 1905, a long time ago. That's before computers. When I say computers, digital computers, and you know, this modern version of algebra that we have now, which doesn't look like this. It's really similar, but not the same. So he published a book in 1905, and it was designed to prepare students to enter the STEM-related careers. All right, to enter STEM-related careers. So the deal about entering STEM-related careers, they really needed students at the top of their game with algebra. So the book is it's a good book. I'll tell you. I'll be honest with you. It's a very good book. By today's standards, though, most algebra teachers and algebra students would look at his work and say, "Oh, it's way too difficult. Don't go near it." But I gotta be honest with you. All these questions are kind of addressed, right? So I mean, they would be doing sequences in series. They'd be solving nonlinear systems. They'd be doing pretty difficult word problems. They'd be solving root equations. But by the way, I'm going to be honest with you, for the most part, these are things that are also done in algebra, but it's really very simple versions of it. Solving quadratics. That's not a fourth degree polynomial. Solving a system of equations are nonlinear. That looks tough, no doubt about it. Another word problem. Another nonlinear system to solve. Another word problem. Another root equation. But this is unknowns in it, and you're solving for the letter x, by the way. Another equation to solve. It's really kind of typical, but a lot of tough problems, right? A word problem. Looks like another word problem there. Not really. It's kind of they have words there, but it's not really a word problem. Word problem. That's a tough one, by the way. An equation to solve. An equation to solve with some parameters in it, but you're still solving for x. A word problem. I'm sorry. An equation to solve. Word problem. Nonlinear system. Now, what I do is over here is I actually work through the problems for you, and you're more than welcome to look through that. Now, I realize that students say, well, you know what? I would like to get an education like this, right? Like, you may say, where I went to school, I didn't get algebra properly done. I got the dumbed down version of algebra, so to speak. And you may say, I want to be able to do these things over here. So, reach out to me. And, I'm not going to say you can get involved with the Prism Mathematics Project, but the Prism Mathematics Project people have access to a document where I rewrote Webster Wells's course. I actually rewrote the whole thing. From beginning to end, I rewrote his course. Now, his original course was 500 pages, about. When I rewrote the book, though, I added a lot of stuff to it, like solutions. Um, I talk about, how I would do the problem, a modern teacher would do the problem, how he did the problem. But I basically just expanded the book, and it turned out, it grew, I'm going to say, like more than 5 times the length of his book. It's a long book. I think by the end of when it is done, it'll be about 3,000 pages long. But you'll get a much better version of algebra by studying that. All right? A much better version of algebra by studying that. But again, some people say, I don't have the time for it or interest in it. We're not saying you do. But if you do and you want to reach out to me, please do so. All right? But all the answers down there of me how to work those problems over there would be there. I wanted to say one thing startling about Webster Wells's text, by the way. There is an answer key to it, but they just put the number down. They don't put any work. They would just write a number down. They would say, the solution to this problem is this or that, right? Or if it was really difficult, they'd say no key, no answer given. When I rewrote the textbook that was course, I gave answers to everything, to all his assignments, to all the internal problems, right? The whole thing, all right? So again, if you're interested in that, you can reach out to me. My email address, let me get back to that, is Bannon. That's B as in boy, the @ symbol, NNON.US. And let me know. Say, you know what? I'm interested in learning algebra at a better standard. And I want to get access to the Webster Well book. It's not published yet, but I'll certainly let you know when it's going to get published and I get access to that. But please, you got to be specific what you're doing. You can tell me, you know what? I watched your YouTube video and I was in this section over here. Let me go back to that. It's long though, right? Yeah, it takes me a lot of time to get through these problems too, by the way. Right. Oh, by the way, another thing I want to point out, this is something Wells couldn't do. He couldn't get nice looking graphs. I can make these things. By the way, Wells's book also has errors. My work has errors too. Don't think it doesn't. It does. It has errors, no doubt about it. So anyway, I'm gonna say if you say that I want to know more about Webster Wells, let me know you watched it in the YouTube and tell me what section you're in and you want to get access to it. All right, and I'll inform you about when it's going to get published. But again, I really appreciate you paying attention. And if you are working these problems, I appreciate the fact that you're working these problems. You'll be better for it, by the way, if you can work these problems over here. Everyone finds it difficult, including people that are good at mathematics. These are not easy to solve. You may think they're easy to solve. These problems, even things that look easy, are not easy. Not easy. I would say give it a try before looking at the key. These are not easy questions. Every single problem, in my opinion, is very difficult, all right? Are they doable? Of course they are. Are they doable with what you know about algebra? Yes. They're just simply written at a much higher level. Thank you for paying attention.